Hey guys, this is CasualNerdHammer.net, and I have for you Game 1, Round 1 of the Keystone GT that Nerdhammer and me and the crew ran. Rob was the GT or the TO. He didn't play in the tournament, and we had 30 guys come out to the middle of nowhere in Pennsylvania and play some Kings of War. So I'm super excited to bring you some Kings of War battle reports, and I have my first round here. I am facing the Kingdom of Men with Abyssal allies. So here we go, human versus human. So on deployment, this first scenario is invade. The way our tournament ran, we had kind of a sliding scale. It was a 15-5 on objectives only, and then there was a margin of victory where you totaled up how many more points your opponent killed, and then you can gain or lose up to 5 points that way. So if you do great in the scenario, like you completely dominate somebody, but the other guy killed more guys, that 15-5 might turn into something like a 12-8 or something to that effect based on how much you kill. But it took a lot of killing to really slide the scale. So it was, I think it worked out pretty nice throughout the tournament. I think it makes sense. So here on my left side, I have my Order of Redemption, a regiment of Order of Redemption. Those guys fly the demigriffs. I have my Redeemer on horseback with Honey Maze, so he can fly also. Here in the center, I have my Trebuchet, which are siege artillery. I have my both Hordes of Martyrs. The one with the black banner there is the one that has crushing strength. I have my Order of Redemption Knights. They're the really good knights with how they inspire, and they have regen 5. The unit with the steam tank in, they are a regiment of Brotherhood Knights. They're your standard knights, but they do have Pathfinder, so the steam tank is mowing down the trees for the knights. And here on the right side, I got my big boy, the Forsaken Beast with regen. He's going to be up there on the hill. I have my hero monster in behind who has the armor, so he is defensive 6. And on the right here, my other regiment of Forsaken Knights. And then my Treb tucked here in the corner. I like where the Treb is. I think it has some nice shooting lanes to where a lot of the combat will be here in the center. And then, of course, it also has line of sight down past these trees on the right side to handle maybe anything coming down this little alleyway. On his side, he has 2 Beasts of War. This really scares me. He's on the right flank, pretty loaded up. They're one of the last drops he has, and he definitely outdropped me, so I do have to take that into account. He has the unit gargoyles from Abyssal. I think this is an Abyssal caster with the fireballs, I believe. This is a unit of Murlocs. Murlocs? Yeah. I think this is another Abyssal character that has the fireball. They're pretty nasty. I face one. I face an all Abyssal list round 4, and man, can they put out some fireballs. In front here, I think these are foot guard. They're defensive 5 troops. I think this is the heavy block of spears, and when I'm doing this report, I actually don't have the list in front of me. For the next reports, I will. But I believe this is a heavy block of spears, which is like the 300-point Kingdom of Men unit. Up on the hill, he has another foot guard unit, and then he has 2 troops of Arbugiers and another troop down here. We'll call them riflemen from here on out. And over here, I believe this is another 2 regiments of the defensive 5 foot guard, and in behind he has another unit of gargoyles. So hit a lot of drops. As you'll see in this tournament, my idea was that I'm just gonna push forward in a tight ball and try to smash people, and then worry about objectives later. Honestly, from the games that I've played, I feel like that's the way I need to play this list. I'm not sure if that's the overarching strategy of Kings of War in general, but for me personally, I think it's the best thing that I can do to see how this list goes. I have my list layered. The Martyrs are going to take a while to get through with the Brotherhood Knights there. They are going to be rallying. They get 1 point of rallying, so they're like 23 nerve. They don't have a waiver value. And then if my flying guys, my Redemption or my Forsaken, if they're close to them, they get another pip of rallying, so they can be up to 24. I feel like they can just grind a little bit, get your units worn down, and then I'm going to come through and smash with knights. That's basically the plan. Flyers, I want to take care of shooting. So here on my left side, I bring the flyers up. They both have range on the handgunners, so that's kind of that is my target. I need to shut them down. They are piercing too. They can definitely put a hurt on some knights. I do have my knights behind cover, which is really nice, but still, I gotta get them limited. My idea here is he's so heavily weighted on this right flank. I need to delay this right flank a little bit, and I want to push the center really hard, try to split his forces up a little bit, and then deal with this right flank as it happens. It is invade, so he needs to get by me, and I feel like I have a really good front line, and I'm pushing up really far. He needs to get some shooting done, so I'm pushing up the center. I want to fight on his side of the table because the late game I feel like I have an edge, and that's just the plan I'm going for. I want to kill everything and then push to the other side. So my Redemption Knights on this side, I'm sorry, my Forsaken Knights on this side, they push up. I'm not really excited about this positioning. I feel that it is a nice position for if he pushes the beast up past these trees. He can't see through the trees to charge me, so that's kind of why the positioning there. I just want to delay this flank as much as I possibly can. And the Trebs shoot and hit and waver and route one of the handgunners on the hill. Can't ask for more than that out of those Trebs. You're going to see a really nice theme coming up with throughout this tournament with my trebuchets. They have been one of the best choices I put in my list, and I know how people feel about war machines in this game, but yeah, I might make you a believer by the time this is over. So turn one for the Kingdom of Men with Abyssal allies. He flies his gargoyles over here, threatening my flanks. I really don't mind this. They can stay there. I'm going to be flying out of here pretty soon, so I don't think they're really that much of a threat to me on this side. And my main block, they're really too far away to be able to use to do anything effective, in my opinion. Moving up with his foot troops, and that's about it for that side. On this side, yeah, he's reconfiguring his lines a little bit, getting an idea of what I'm going to do and trying to react to it. He does push this guy up. He's going to start shooting some fireballs at me, and I'm okay with how things are positioned so far. I feel like if I keep hitting that center, these guys out here on the flanks are going to be taking a little time to get in. So I'm just trying to get up on his side and do some work. Over here is Little Tentative with his beast. He's keeping him out of line of sight of my Forsaken. This is kind of great to me because I really want to delay this side. He does position this beast. That's going to be kind of an issue for me. And the Molochs, I really don't want the Molochs getting the charge first. They are pretty nasty. I think they're crushing strength 2, if I'm not mistaken. They do hit on 4s, but they do have 24 attacks, so they can definitely do some damage. So over here, he does some shooting with his fireballs and the handgunners, and they do 9 wounds to my Redemption Knights, or my my Redemption Knights, my martyrs with the crushing strength, and they're okay. And over here, he does get 1 wound off on my Redeemer, but that's all right. He has a 5-up regen, so hopefully he can redeem those. Let's see what I did there. Turn to Brotherhood. So I'm really tentative on his side, of course. I'm considering putting up the Forsaken Beast as a chaff. He looks big and scary, and that was kind of my idea. It's like a psychological thing. He looks big and scary, but really he's not that good. I just want people to shoot at him. I want people to charge him and maybe get a pepper regen or 2 throughout the fight, and just delay basically till my knights can bust in. So on this left side, I fly in with my Redeemer to hit his handgunners up on the hill, and I use my other knights to go after his handgunners here. If I can break these handgunners, I feel like with my D6 overrun, I'll be able to get out of the line of sight of these guys, and then I'm just in this backfield and I'm going to be causing havoc. I think this is a good play. I don't know. He does have a reroll, and that was something that I didn't really account for. I'm just hoping that they can do enough, get through the reroll, and be able to get out of issue there. The foot guard, I think they hit like on a 3, but they don't have crushing strength or anything. So my 5-up armor, even in the flank, it's dicey. I don't really want to have to take a flank there. I hope I can just bust through them. Either way, I'm going to stop his shooting from here. The only guy I got to worry about is this Moloch guy. I'm hoping that after I get in here with Redeemer that he's going to be in a position, because he's up on a hill, and plus he is height 2 anyway, that I'd be able to charge him and try to stop that fireball because it is pretty nasty. So that's why I fan out my Redemption Knights to handle threats on this side. I feel like the Redemption Knights can go up against the Foot Guard, even at defensive 5, and do enough damage to the regiment to pop them in one turn. I'm hoping that can happen on this side so that I can reposition them, and they're going to have a nice flank, look down the flank on that side. Let's see. After combat, I waver these handgunners, and the Redemption Knight actually does pretty good, and or the Redeemer actually does pretty good, and takes out those handgunners. So that's pretty nice. 1 out of 2 ain't bad, I guess. Not quite Meatloaf style, but if I could have just broke them, that would have been really nice. I wouldn't have to take this in the flank. Turn 2, Kingdom of Men. He does push up a little bit more on this side. He gets his Molochs out of the wood so they're not going to be hindered, and he brings up his Foot Guard as chaff, which is a pretty good move, and keeps this lane clear here for this beast. He does pull this beast over here. I guess he's figuring he's going to have enough time to get into the woods, and I think those beasts have crushing strength anyway, so it's not just a hindered charge is going to be kind of annoying for him. Yeah, so that's what he does there. And of course, he takes his counter charge into the flank. I'm a little worried about how that's going to go. And he brings his other Foot Knights over and starts to threaten my flanks on this side. Not much he can do. I guess his best idea is if he takes my Redemption Knights out there, it's at least delaying them a turn. And these guys are pretty wounded. Well, half wounded at 8. Actually, less than half wounded at 8. But he does take his Foot Guard in there. So we'll see how a troop can do. I think they got about 10 attacks against my my martyrs. Decides that he might as well just go after my my trebuchet here. The way he had to fly, if you look at this arc, this treb can actually move 5 inches. So even going over this wall, I don't think it delays movement. I forget if we did 2.5 inches or if I got my whole 5 movement. But next turn I do actually move him up and get him out of the arc. So it saved the Treb for 1 round and made his gargoyles have to run around a little bit. His other gargoyle unit is going to go after the Treb, and well, what can you do? You know, if the Trebs don't hit, they don't hit, and if you waste time going after them, then that's one piece of chaff that I don't have to deal with early. Over here, Fireball, I got 1 wound on him. I don't know if it's from a fireball or not. I'm not sure. Not sure what hit him there. And look at this, the Knights with only 3 wounds on him and not wavered after that combat. I can't really ask for anything more there. I think that went pretty well for me. I think he has like 24-ish attacks hitting on 3s and then wounding on 5s, and they only did 3 wounds. I gotta say, I think I'm lucky there. I don't know what the math is, but I'll take that, and they weren't wavered. I do have a reroll there, so that's definitely helpful as the Redeemer inspires. Turn 3, Brotherhood. I decide to flank charge the troops here. That shouldn't be a problem for the martyrs. That's 50 attacks coming at them, hitting on 4s, wounding on 5s. So that should be enough. I do take the beast back, or take the beast in also. He may have charged the beast here. Yeah, that's what might have happened. That troop might have charged the beast. I'm not completely sure, but that's why they might have only just done 1 wound to him. So looking at the way the board is, I do take the other martyrs into his other troops that were trapping me here. Looking at the way the board is, it's such a stalemate. I'm thinking I want to bait him at this point. Like, both my martyr units I know can hold for at least a turn against what he has. If they don't, I'm going to have to countercharge with the knights a turn earlier. So what I do, I try to bait him in this. Instead of having the stalemate, I throw both of my flyers over, fly them, they can go up to 20 inches, but over 10, so that I can't even face them back to the lines. It's going to take me an extra turn, but I'm planning on taking that extra turn. And the reason being is I want to force his hand. I want him to feel that this is the opportunity that he needs to push forward, because my flyers are going to be delayed a turn. I think I have enough staying power to pull this off. So this is the gambit that I'm setting up. I'm hoping that it's the right play, because otherwise I'm really letting my guys out to dry, and then I'm just gonna be just trying to save these points and keeping them on the invade side. It's a bit of risk. I think it's a good calculated risk, but I'm not 100% sure. The Redemption Knights go over to his other foot guard unit. I hope they can just bust them up in 1 turn. It'll be handy if they can. And my Forsaken Knights, I believe, go back into his handgunners to try to clear them up. My Redemption Knight with that beautiful individual 360 basically line of sight to charge, I go into his Fireball dude. And you see my Martyrs have 9 wounds on them. At that point, over here, yep, make short work of those troops and reform. The Martyrs are just standing there like, hey, let's go. Come on in, try to bust me up. And if you pop them, you're going to get countercharged by Knights. And if you don't, you're going to be stuck for an extra turn. So that's the best I can hope for. And over here, I waver his Fireball, dude. Kind of bummed me out a little bit. And over here, I waver his Foot Knights. That kind of bums me out a little bit. I do clear up the handgunners, and I just turn to face the charge that's inevitably going to happen there. Or I thought was going to happen there. Anyway, so that's the way it's looking. And his turn 3, there's the move I did with the Treb. So he had to fly his gargoyles up, and this time he gets them into a position where he's not going to be able to escape. And these gargoyles go into this Treb. And over here, yeah, I didn't have enough positioning to save my Martyrs from a flank charge from the foot guard. That was unfortunate. Probably an oversight on my view. I don't think I had enough to do it. But yeah, that's all that I can do. That's going to be tough for the Martyrs with 9 wounds on them already. They do have Inspiring by the Redemption Knights, so it's going to be iffy. And over here, the Mohawks go into the other knight, or the other Redemption, or not Redemption, Martyrs. I swear I'm going to learn the names of my troops at some point. And he takes his beast into my beast. I don't know how that goes. I think I should be able to hold. I only have 1 wound on him, and he decides to bring his other beast to the woods, knowing that he has an extra turn from my flyers to go in there. And here, I don't know. I think he should have put the foot guard in the flank here, and then brought both these units in on the Martyrs to try to pop them. I know he might not be able to pop them on one go, but he at least would have popped the left unit in one go. But at least he would hold them up for at least a turn. So yeah, that's the way it looks. We'll see how it goes. And over here, it does 3 wounds and it only wavers the Treb. They're only 8-10 nerves, so the gargoyles are going to be held up an extra turn, which I think is helpful for me. So over here, here's where I think he made a big error that's going to cost him a lot in this game. So after he killed this Martyr unit on the left, he decides to overrun with his heavy pike block, and he runs too far. He ran like 5, almost 6 inches, and that exposes the flank here. It's enough for my knights to see them. They were able to see them on the arc there and get in, which was pretty good for me. Over here, the Moloch does 11 wounds to the Martyr unit. Yeah, that's great. They hold. This is going to give me an opportunity to countercharge and also buy myself some more time to let my flyers come into the back. And over here, yeah, the beast does get killed by his beast, which that's pretty surprising. I thought he would hold there, but what can you do? I didn't have a reroll next to him because I flew my one guy off. So turn 4, Brotherhood. I go back into this unit here trying to get rid of them, and I bring my Redeemer into his Fireball guy who's trying to get away. I gotta stop that Fireball. Like 20 Fireball 20 is just ridiculous. He, in his reform, he did face this unit at the opposite direction. I bring these Redemption Knights in to threaten the flanks of his other troops in case these guys can't bust through the heavy pike block. I mean, this is a perfect scenario. This is what you want. You have a knight unit coming in on the flank. You know, Thunderous Charge 2. They're going to have 32 attacks. This is how you want to take down a pike block. I couldn't have asked for anything better here. It was just a stroke of luck, and you know, I'm gonna seize that opportunity. My Martyrs, I do take back into his Moloch unit. I'm gonna try to do some wounds there, and positioning as such. This is the risk that I'm taking. I think his beast can see the rear of these knight units, and a beast in the rear is probably not what you want. So I'm hoping that if I if I can get through this pike block, I can reform and face that way or overrun if I need to. And over here, I do face my other two flyers to face the tango in the middle. My redemption knights finally get through the shield guard, foot guard, and I do kill his fireball dude, which is awesome. And here in the center, yes, I get through the pike block. That was absolutely huge for me. I decide to just overrun, and I had enough that I got out of the rear, out of range of his beast, which is also awesome. I don't know how many wounds these guys did. I see his counter there, but I'm not 100% sure. They're not the crushing strength guys, so 25 attacks, half are hitting, so you're down to 12. They're wounding on 4s, so another half, so 6 is going to be average there. They are only 16, 18, so they're not going to be able to take too much more. But I'm not sure the Martyrs are going to be able to survive any other counter charges. So yep, they back off there, and that's just too far, I think, for his beast. So turn 4, some kind of shooting. I guess he has another fireball guy. He puts 2 wounds and wavers them. Unbelievable. To waver them, he would need a 10, and I didn't have a reroll, so that was enough. They are headstrong, so hopefully I can pass my headstrong test. So this beast, he decides to go into the flank. He really wants to get rid of these martyrs, and that's what he does there. And this guy moves around to threaten the rear and the flank of my knights. Over here, he takes his foot guard regiment and the gargoyles into the flank of my redemption knights and into the front. Redemption knights 15, 17. They do have a reroll. They are defense 5. I think they're okay here, hopefully. And turn 5, I don't have the results, but as you can see, he did pop the martyr unit and wasn't able to pop the redemption knights, of course. And I decided to take my troops, my Brotherhood knights, into the flank of the gargoyles, and I countercharge the foot knights here. And over here, I'm just buying myself some time. I'm going to set up wait, how do I do this? I think do I charge the beast? I might not have charged the beast here. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know why they're lined up. I might just, I put them here to protect the rear in case something weird happened from this beast and that beast. I'm sacrificing this unit to be able to chaff up three units. And I throw my Forsaker into the flank of this beast. I'm hoping the Forsaker has enough to just pop them, and I won't have to worry about it. And I do fail my headstrong test, so I wasn't able to fly into the flank of the Molochs, which would have killed them. That is unfortunate. Over here, I don't know what that's a picture of. Okay, after combat, he only has 8 wounds on his guys. Defense 5 is a little tough. I think I took the Redeemer in also, just wasn't able to pop them. I do pop the gargoyles and able to reform here. Over here, did not do enough wounds to kill the beast, so my Forsaker has to pop back, and I think that was a good idea to bring the Forsaken in to chaff these guys up. Yeah, I'm not sure what that's a picture of. So on his turn, yep, countercharges. He countercharges a beast into my Forsaker, and he double charges my Forsaken Knights with his Moloch unit and his beast. Over here, these guys go back in. They got the Redemption Knights up to 7 wounds. So yeah, they're hanging tough right here, and they're holding up this whole flank. So thank goodness that my Redemption Knights were able to hold. And yeah, after combat, obviously, pops those guys. Turn 6, getting fast and furious at this point. I charge my knights into his Moloch unit, hoping to get them popped and get them out of his deployment zone. I think these guys are on his side at this point, on his side of the table. And if I remain my Redeemer Knight into his foot guard, I'm hoping that he has enough just to kill that unit so they don't countercharge. And something I wanted to show you, my Redemption Knights, I just slid over so that they were on his side of the table. And after combat, I did kill the Molochs. I reface this way so that I'm on his side of the table. I did fly my Forsaker over there, so he saves those points there. So we had an all or nothing type of move here. If he kills these knights, it's a decent swing. but both of his units are going to be on his side of the table. I think he would have been better off to just pull those beasts onto his side or onto my side of the table and get the points for him and play for the points in the tournament. And at the end, he wasn't able to pop that unit even with all those attacks, and I got the points for them. So it finished up. I got a 16-4 in the tournament, so that was a pretty good win. I had a really nice opponent. I had a great game with him, and I thank him for the game because it was a lot of fun. I loved his boon counter. It was pretty neat. So yeah, I feel pretty good. 16-4, I can't complain. I had a lot of points on his side of the table at the end of it, and I'm looking forward to going into turn two or round two with a win. So thanks guys for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. The next battle report will be coming up soon.